Okay, wedding day, here we go. We're jumping into this. So timeline of all of this. Met in 2014, started dating September 2015, engaged January 2016, married May 2016. It's less than a year.
Wow.
That was less than a year.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. 5 months dating, 4 months engaged, 5 years married. 5, 4, 5.
Almost 5. If you are wondering like how long do I need to be engaged for?
Yes, I wanted to talk about this with you guys. Okay.
Good.
Tell
well,
them.
We're talking about it.
We're talking about this right now.
I thought 4 months was the perfect amount of time. Engagement can be kind of hard because it's like a transition. I loved engagement. I've heard this from other people too, where it can feel kind of hard because you're planning a wedding, you're preparing, you're in this transition period of having a huge life change. And the longer you extend it, I mean, maybe that makes it less stressful, but I found that it was nice to have a short period of time because then we could just get all our things done. Why drag it out, essentially? And also, it doesn't take that long to plan a wedding. If you have a year, you'll take a year.
We weren't stressed about it at all.
Like, I honestly loved planning a wedding. And I think that the longer you give yourself, the more time you have to think about the decisions, which is actually not a good thing because you could be like, oh, should I do this or should I do this? Like, there's so many options, especially today with Pinterest. You could literally have endless ideas. And so that's why when you have a short engagement, you literally are like, okay, this is what I like. And the thing is, everybody would do things differently later because your style changes. Like in the end, it's not about which style of whatever you chose. The longer you have to decide, the longer it'll take and the more stress it'll be. So
that's our opinion on the side of we had a short one.
Yeah, that's our experience and we liked it.
If you had a long one or are planning a long one, like you don't necessarily have to change your mind right now.
Yes.
Again, cater to who you are as a person. And if you just need more time to plan something, then that's all good. We had a really intimate backyard style wedding. So we had 80 people there.
It would have been more than that because it was 110 with servers and us.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Earl's Meat Market in Steinbach hooked us up with all of our meat. We did kebabs.
Skewers, yeah.
Skewers. This is the disappointing part. The beef ones were all like way overdone. These are really awesome. Struggling with your chicken too. Steak. Is it hard?
I wouldn't recommend doing skewers. Only
it
because
was so sad.
They're so finicky.
Oh, okay, this was a really funny memory that I want to talk about too. So, planned this backyard wedding. It was beautiful.
We made this beautiful wall of lights behind our dance floor and
we'll put up a picture of that.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
One of my favorite things from our wedding. It was just like, it was magical.
There was a couple of things that were just magical about
It's
it
true.
all. But yeah.
I wish I could go back and relive that day, to be honest.
We almost can with some of the footage we have here. I would love to. Because you're my wife.
Oh yeah, me too. Wow.
It's so fun, eh?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's like one of those things that just happens so fast. It's like
I know.
You're not married, and then you are married, and that's it.
Who can play hot crust buns on this recorder? Oh, is that right? Is that right?
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, it was so nice.
It was just so good. I don't know what I should say about this. If I should recommend you don't do this. We didn't get a tent. So
oh yeah, outdoor backyard wedding.
No tent.
No, yeah.
Because I didn't want a tent. Again, not being flexible. So I was set on not having a tent. I was like, nope, it's
And we could have gotten a tent. Those tents are beautiful too.
I didn't want to spend the money and I didn't want the tent. You can't just like last minute get a tent the day of. You have to like book it, and you know, I didn't want it if it's gonna be beautiful outside. The only reason I would want it if it's raining. But
anyway, you were saying though about the tent.
Yeah, so
and
I
your
didn't.
Inflexibility.
My inflexibility. Did not want a tent. So that's why I'm like, do I say get a tent? Because I didn't want a tent and I still didn't. Like now I wouldn't have wanted a tent either. But could have been smart to have a tent potentially. So on our rehearsal day, which was 2 days before the wedding, it was pouring rain.
Pouring. She was in tears.
I
It
was
wasn't just
crying.
pouring outside, it was pouring out of her eyes.
It was a very stressful day. I've been to a few wedding rehearsals, and it seems like it's always pretty stressful. It's a big day, and you want it to
It
go
is,
well.
yeah. I think what makes it stressful is that you were planning so much stuff and you're actually decompressing in that moment where it's like planning. It's all these like last minute things, but it's like you get to a point where it's like, now here's the tipping point.
Don't worry if your rehearsal is stressful or if you feel a lot of emotion. That is totally normal.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the more common experience.
Yeah.
On the day of your wedding, you realize like, I'm not out there to make sure everything gets set up the way I want it. It's in other people's hands now. Make sure you're communicating and you have the details that you want. Somebody else knows them or it's written down so that on the day of your wedding, you're not thinking about those details. You're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Another tip for the wedding day is have breaks. So I honestly think this is so important in the way that you set up your day because you get really tired and you want to be emotionally present for the moments that matter. You could literally go take photos forever. Like you could just be going and going and going.
endlessly.
I hit a point where I was really tired right before the ceremony. Have a time before the ceremony where either you're just like with your wedding parties and you are just relaxing and waiting, and it's nice to just not have any pressure. Have snack breaks. Just set it up in a way that it's not like this big event that you are the star. Wedding day, you gotta have photos, you gotta have hair, makeup. Like it's like this big
It's gotta
production.
be non-stop. It doesn't have to be a big production.
And that's one of the things I wish I would have done differently about our wedding is I wish I would have set it up in a way that it was like actually things that I wanted, not just like, oh yeah, people do this on their wedding day.
Oh, did you feel that way?
Well, just like the break thing, and like it was
Didn't we
really
have a
fun.
I thought we had a break. We went and got gelato.
Yeah, we went and got gelato, but that was after photos, and we were still running around, and then we came back and did family photos right before then. I remember feeling really tired, and I just wish we would have sat down. Whereas at my sister's wedding, they literally got out of their wedding clothes. You don't have to do this, but they literally did, and we just had food and snacks and whatever. It felt so relaxed. You just want to enjoy that day. You don't have to do that, you know, but enjoy the day and set it up in a way that you're doing things that matter to you. And at the end of the day, as long as you have the photos that you want, you don't have to be doing them for hours. It's important to just like treasure that time. Also, first look. Should you have a first look or not? I liked having a first look.
I felt like first look was weird.
So you would have rather had us see each other down the aisle?
No, because we hung out during the day. So I would have liked having a first look. There was something weird about it.
Because I wouldn't stop laughing.
It just like was built up and it was like, oh, I'm seeing the person that I want to marry, you know? Someone that I've spent tons of time with. Who is it gonna be?
Oh, I think it's just like a fun thing. Again, don't put too much pressure on it.
This is a pro tip here for wedding planning. Don't do your rehearsal the night before.
If you can. It
If you
depends on
can.
location.
Yeah. Do your wedding rehearsal
But 2 days before.
2 days before so you can have the day before your wedding to actually relax. We just hung out the day before our wedding.
We
Like
did some reflection.
people were like, oh, what's the occasion? We're getting married tomorrow. Wow, are you guys not stressed? No, we're just hanging out today. We did all our stressful things yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to have like a day in between our wedding and the rehearsal, just for us to be together and not like do the rehearsal the day before so that it's like all these emotions and it was so stressful, and then it's like we're gonna go into the next day and carry those emotions over. Now you can actually process those emotions and go into the following day just like pumped. That was a really great vlog. Check out the next one.